do you guys want to get married? Like, do you guys want that? Do you guys, I mean, you guys are all single, but do you guys want to get married, settle down, have kids?
For myself, from the beginning, when I got married, I was very um I am conservative, okay, and I have this conservative mindset. I had a vision of a family structure in my head, and it's very traditional. I was like 100% mom. I was, 100% all the time at home, doing chores, doing all this type of like paying bills, um, even cutting the grass on myself. I never even paid to nobody because I would be just saving like even $30. Um, and then gradually it just got like I lost my identity in a way. So I guess I became a little bit boring for my husband or whatnot. I don't know what was the deal, but
Did you guys live together in the beginning? Because
no, no.
he was always deployed away.
Out of like 7 years, maybe 7 months altogether.
Oh wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
That's
tough.
not much at all.
Yeah, and then I start complaining maybe towards the end, and then that's how everything just like crashed.
I mean,
Yeah.
does he struggle? I mean, obviously you're struggling with it. 7 months out of 7 years, but what? But is he struggling with it? He's not able to see you.
Well, I don't know. He doesn't want to see me. Like he was actually seeking for his new contracts for his job to be out from the house because it got just toxic. And then he doesn't know how to fix it. He doesn't want to fix it, so he just finds himself a long ass contract so he can have this excuse to leave.
Why? Why? I mean, I'm just curious. Why have you guys lasted 7 years? Like how
Because
long?
of kids.
Oh, kids. Got you. Got you. Okay, kids came in along the
Because
way.
for as much as we like don't like each other, we are very. I think we both are very good parents, and this is what hold us down. So
Okay. All
yeah.
right. So if you happen to, because you said possibly this is ending soon. If it does end soon, like, do you
Am
want
I
to do it
right?
again? Huh?
If I want to be married again,
Yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah. No. So
No,
this is the
this
first
is
and
it.
last.
Yeah, this is it. I originally actually went for this marriage. My biological clocks were tick-tacking, so I was like getting close to 30. I was like, okay, I need to get like, kids done.
Interesting.
It's
Okay.
like a check mark. And then he was around, and then just, things were just,
Okay.
he just was a right person, I guess, at that moment. So like we never actually married for love. Not him, not me. Conveniency more than anything. So now we're in this shithole we are in, and then my son is actually the older son who is 6 to be soon. He is against me divorcing because I did have an open conversation with him. What do you think if we like go separate ways? He kind of cried, so I was like, okay, because I was about to file myself, and because it's just a matter of time, okay, it's gonna
Okay.
happen regardless. So I was gonna just do it myself, and then but before I did it, I had an open conversation with my toddler, and then I'm in kindergartner, and then he said no. So he cried, and I was like, okay, maybe I just hold on. So I don't know what to do. For as much as I want to be divorced officially and like do my own thing, things just like holding me down.
All right. So you say you did, I heard you say you didn't marry for love, but for like so like you didn't. So
Well,
what would it make? Go ahead.
this is the guy. Okay, this is actually referring to one of the topics I was gonna talk about, like men's commitment. I don't know if I should start talking
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
Maybe
Hold
we
off
should.
that,
Yeah.
hold off on that, and then we'll come back to that. All right. We'll circle back. We'll circle back. All right. Whitney, same question. Like, do you like want to? Do you want? I know you're on your grind right now. You're doing your thing, but do you want to at the end of the day? Like, do you want to settle down, eventually settle down with a man and get married and have that traditional family and kids and that happily ever after?
No. I mean, okay, so that's not the full answer. No, I don't want a traditional family. I don't see myself raising children. I see myself having like a few 5 to 8 year long relationships one in my 40s, maybe one in my 50s, and maybe I'll like really settle down with someone when I'm in my 60s for the long run. But like, I don't know. I've been a completely different person every like 7 years of my life. And I used to think I really wanted to be married when I was younger. And there was like phases where I went through that I was completely against it. And at the moment, I'm pretty against it. So I don't think that anyone's going to get me to walk down an aisle, even in like 5 years, because I've flip-flopped on that shit like 8 times. Like why am I going to be so certain next time? So I foresee a few long-term relationships. I guess the answer is no.
What if he's a billionaire?
So that's the thing that a lot of people come at me with, sugar daddy offers and offers like I'll take care of you financially. You never have to worry about anything. And to me, that is a trap.
They're probably ugly, but what if he's like 6 foot tall, like 6?
I would still want my own. If he was a billionaire and he was cool with me having my own money on the side and like not relying, I would need an exit strategy. Like I'd need like $250K in the bank and a source of revenue coming in. I'm not going to be like, this man leaves me for someone younger or whatever, and then I'm just fucked with nothing and I left everything for this billionaire and now I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, no. I like taking care of myself. So
yes, girl.
Thank you.
I love your strong, independent woman.
Yeah, I don't want to be trapped by a man. I think that scares the fuck out of me. Like I have friends that I feel are trapped by men right now, and I'm like, no, thank you.
Okay,
I feel the same.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, I do have a question because I do want to respond to what you just said, right? Because one thing I know about men, because one thing I always talk about my podcast is like, men and women, we show commitment differently. And men, the way we show commitment is through provision and protection. Like when a man truly loves a woman, it's our natural way to like, we want to protect you, we want to provide, we want to take care of you. So, if a man's really a man, is a good man, he's very masculine, like he wants to take care of you. So I know that's one of the things I do hear from a lot of women is like, especially the modern women today, is like, I don't want a man to take care of you because what if he leaves, right? Mm-hmm. But
I don't want to find myself reliant upon a man. There's a difference. You want to buy dinner every time we go out? Fuck yes, do it. Enjoy. You want to buy me shoes? Absolutely. But are you going to pay my bills? No.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay my car? Absolutely not. Like there's a difference between being taken care of and being owned by someone.
But if that's what I'm saying is like, if a man truly loves you, he doesn't mind doing that, right? He doesn't mind paying for your bills.
But he also doesn't mind me paying them either, if he truly loves me.
But what I'm saying is like, think about it, right? You're gonna eventually have kids, right? Like eventually,
no.
You don't
Absolutely not.
You don't want no kids at all.
I'm 37. I donated my eggs 9 times. I have 14 biological children in the United States and Europe and Australia, and that's good. And my niece is 20 years old. Like I'm not having kids.
All right, no worries. Also, another question.
Very doubtful.
Also, you said that you're afraid that the man leaves you, right? So I want to ask you, where does that fear come from? Was it like, where because usually when you like, when you're in love with somebody, like you have to be optimistic that things are gonna work out. I mean, of course, no relationship is gonna be guaranteed, but you have to have the genuine feeling that what I mean. I know it's a risk, but I have to believe it's gonna work out, right? And a lot of times I do meet people that they have this fear, and
right.
And this fear, it stops them from actually taking a risk. They do finally meet a good man, but they let that man go because of this fear. And then sometimes, they look back at the end of their life, man, the guy actually came, but I was afraid because of that fear and he let go. And now that guy's married somebody else, which could have been you. So my question is like, where did that fear originate? Like, did it come from a past? Like, because fear comes from something, if you're afraid of something, usually comes from something. I know
exactly where my fears are from.
Where did it come from?
I have massive abandonment issues. My brother committed suicide.
Got you.
I'm a fucking disaster. But it's like, I'm not afraid of a man leaving me. I just think I'm afraid of putting all my eggs in one basket. Okay. My fear isn't the man leaving. I'm not worried about that. I think I've never met the person who I want that was like, I've never been in a relationship where we were both on the same page. So if
Okay.
I had a fear of it ending, it was because I'm like, this motherfucker has one foot in a shoe and the other foot is in a boot. Like he doesn't like he's not in this relationship. He doesn't give a fuck. He just wants some right now, and that's cool.
So you
I don't
also
know.
so you've never met a man that was faithful and committed to your relationship with you in the past. You've
Oh,
never
no,
met
I
a man like that?
have. I'm just saying our relationships were short lived. Like I've had relationships, but I'm like they weren't like the one forever. I don't know.
I mean, was there ever a man in the past where you met? It was a good man. He was faithful to you. He loved you. Like, have you ever had that type of relationship
Yeah,
before?
two
Or have
boyfriends that were good boyfriends and faithful, but we outgrew each other.
okay,
That's what I'm saying. Like their relationship was really good while it was the relationship, but then eventually I outgrew both of them, honestly. But I wasn't like, I'm afraid he's gonna leave me because I was like, get the fuck out of my house. I want a spare bedroom. Like, I don't know.
all right. No, no worries, no worries. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like when you say outgrew, like what do you mean? Outgrow.
I mean, I matured more than they did at that time in their lives, and I was ready to move forward in the next step in mine, and they were like still doing the dumb shit they're doing. So I ended the
Oh,
relationship and moved on. That's why I said I think I'm gonna have a few 5 year to 10 year relationships with people who are cool, but I'm going to surpass them and leave them behind.
all right. Okay. No worries. No worries.
That's my
Okay.
plan.
Okay. Okay. All right. No worries. And last but not least, Colleen, same thing with you. Why are you still single? Oh no,
No,
no, no, no, I'm sorry. No,
The
no, 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 no,
question,
no, no. My question was, do you wanna and I'm sorry, that was the first the follow-up question is do you want to get married at the end of the day? Have kids, have a family, and have that happily ever after life.
honestly, guys, ever since I was little, that was like one of like my dreams. It was like this fantasy that I had, right? Because I've always been a hopeless romantic, and I think I always will be. But as I get older, I think I kind of lean towards maybe I don't want to get married after all. And I kind of agree with Whitney because I've had past relationships. I've broken up with all of my boyfriends, and I feel so bad for saying that because, like, it's hard to find someone that is willing to grow with you at every stage in your life. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And that's why, like, I know a lot of people stay in relationships because they're comfortable or like they don't think they can find anyone better. But the truth is there is always going to be someone better out there. You just have to have faith. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm still
Hmm.
trying to figure myself out. I gotta get my own shit together before like I can even handle that um commitment. Um, but it's like I'm gonna see where it goes. I'm not saying completely no or completely yes either.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna follow what my gut tells me and yeah, see where it takes me from there. So I'm like, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. Yeah.
That's
You broke. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
just
Go
wanted to
ahead.
say that's kind of where I was saying, like, if you asked me this question 5 years ago, or 5 years before that, or 5 years before that, I would have given you a different answer every time.
Okay.
That's
Got you.
why,
Got you.
that's why the answer is no now.
Uh,
Sorry.
It
no
can
worries. No worries.
change.
So, Colleen, let me ask you. Like, you say you broke up with all your boyfriends in the past. What was it like? What was the reason why you broke up with them?
We just weren't on the same page anymore. Or like I would like my last boyfriend that I was with, he wasn't supportive of my career. Like me being in the music industry, me wanting to have that as a career. I just found that like, the relationship ran its course and it was time for me to reevaluate what I want in a partner
Hmm.
and not stay in a relationship where I felt comfortable because I find a lot of people do that. Like
Mhm.
even like people that um people that I know, like, oh, I'm just gonna stay with him or her because like we own a house together or like it's convenient for them. You gotta be with someone because you love them, not because like whatever their circumstances are. And I find that like you should always, you know, choose relationships based on happiness and love.
But also, it's a constant thing from a man's side. Like when we meet each other, we liking each other based on like physical attraction, sex attraction, whatever. Time, once your relationship settle, it's very important to maintain it. People change at all the time. So if you ask me, I'm not the same when I married him. I'm totally different today. And has he ever been curious about my changes? Never. That's why all of a sudden he wakes up and like, what the hell? Why are you such a bitch? Well, maybe you should have been a little bit more curious about my persona, because I'm struggling not only physically, emotionally, all kinds of ways. And even when I open up, like, he's not really willing to be, asking what's going on. Like, he thinks I should be the same as the day when he married me. No, hello, I have already 2 kids.
You're a totally different person now.
Yes, and it's a normal thing.
My best friend's dealing with that, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, and then this is what I think men don't really comprehend, because they need to be constantly be curious, like, what's going on. You're not gonna be the same, and it's normal thing. Yeah, I don't know. For females can be also the same thing. Like, some girls just like, okay, I met him, he's a money maker, okay, he's great, blah, blah, but he's shallow. And he's been shallow from the day one, and then he still is. And then all of a sudden she's confused, like, what's going on? Yeah, like, people can show themselves different kinds of way. You need to constantly be curious about the person. Okay. And sometimes we just have to read between the lines, and so it's not what he or she's telling you or presenting you at the moment, but what he's not showing you and not presenting you. So that's a lot, I guess, has to do with that. I don't know, I could be wrong.